Sadgamaya Tamasho Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Abir Maedhi Rudro Yatte Dakshinang Mukham Te Namang Pahi Nityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. And evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. And this light is too strong now. Adjust it. See how it comes. We were on the 10th chapter. This chapter is ending almost. And we read the verse number 28 on page number 336. We'll start today verse number 29 on the 337. So what we read the other day, it is a repetition of the same idea though. It is, what is this? What we see, that drishyam, mano drishyamidam sarvam. Whatever we see, drishyam, this visible universe, whatever I see, idam, this universe, whatever is visible before my senses, they are sarvam, jat sacharacharam, that which is movable and immovable, which is static and which is in action. This is all monodrishyamidam. It is the universe is a fantasy. It has been created by mind only, monodrishyam. Close your eyes, it goes. You keep your mind in another thought, then you find that this thought is meaningless. It has no value. So this is the point, that is a mystery. We are so serious about this world and its happenings and everything what we are concerned. It is only a fantasy of the mind. It's a very serious thinking can bring this very clearly out. How much we think it is true. If someone puts me to sleep now by injection, this whole world is gone for me. There is no value of it. Whether it is singing, dancing, people are experiencing the good meal and feast and jumping, dancing, or whether someone is crying and dying. For the person who is sleeping, there is no reality. But reality comes as soon as the mind awakes from that slumber of sleep or that slumber of what you call fainting comes out. Then indeed the world comes out. As long as the mind pops up, the world pops up. Mind is there still in the dream state. That's why dream world pops up. And the dream world becomes so real when we are in the dream world. That is where your mind is, we are there. So, manodrishyam idam sarvam. Vedanta student tries to analyze this way. So they live in the world but don't pay much emphasis on it, not seriousness in it. As we spend our 24 hours time with everything serious, and we are not serious about that truth which is the eternal. This is a trick of the Maya, and that is the way the Divine Mother is doing all this play, avidya Maya. But Vidya Maya, when that mother, when pleased, gives the right knowledge, understanding and a direction. And when displeased, destroys all, whatever is good. So we can put blame on mother, but we have our role also there. We take one side of the game and not the other side. So here it is very important point. Manashihi amoni bhavat. Wonderful word. One formula. Millions of japa, 50,000, 100,000 japa is only for this purpose, to understand that it is all this world. So long we are in this world, we see it, we feel it, we are happy, we are unhappy, we are anxious, we are excited, we are excruciating in pain and all these things. These are all so long your mind is there. And the mind withdrawn, manasi hi amuni bhave. But by your spiritual practice, if you can create a condition of your mind that it will not function like a mind, it will be amuni. Am means other than mind or opposite of mind. Mind means always, it has always a jumping nature and it is catching this as this is true, that is true. Wherever mind moves, it creates this universe. So it is created by universe, and manasi and this creation will vanish altogether. Dvaitam na upalabhate. The duality will not be upalabdhi, will not be realized at all, not be coming in the perception at all. Dvaitam na eva upalabhate. So that was our last reading. And the whole Vedanta can be put into the nutshell in these few words here. Only if a serious student comes day and night, he can think, what I am seeing, it is true. It is true so long my mind is functioning. If my mind is withdrawn, see the same world, how we perceive the same world. Someone says, what a fantastic day today, no? And then another person might, my God, what a horrible day. I am getting all the bad news and this and that, and this is fire going on, that is going on. And one person says, wow, what a great day today. The same day. If it is external world is the same, so everyone should react the same way. But it is the mind factor is so important. Once mind is little, for some reason, excited, agitated, it reacts one way. Once mind is little calmer, it reacts another way. So object remaining the same, our reactions are all different. Object remaining same, our reactions become different. And that is done by whom? No ghost, no demon. What is called it is all mind. Vedanta says mind. Don't put it that some ghost from somewhere is jumping on your head and some stars and nakshatras are always controlling us. Astrologers day and night. Oh, because of this star moving there, see, it is creating this trouble for you. You are creating your trouble. You are not looking at, if you accept this reality as true, then those are all right. Yes, someone coming with a basket full of flowers to greet you, someone is coming with a fearful eye to crush you. Okay, these are all, if you accept the reality. But the Vedanta is going to the foundation of reality. Is this real? That is the fundamental question. Yes, it is real as long as you see it. I am talking, it is true. I was hungry, I ate. That's true. Hunger was true. Eating was true. I ate good food. I rejected certain food. That's also true. I was happy with the food. I was displeased with the food. That's also true. But who is playing all these reactions? Whose action is this? Mind. So here is the point. So mind. And mind sometimes is called chitta because mind does not function alone. Mind has deep association with other three comrades. They jointly function in our life. Mana buddhi chitta ahankara. Man means your mind, your intellect, understanding, your memory, remembering faculty, and your ego. So mana buddha chitta buddhi, chitta, ahankar. That's why Shankara says, I am Naham. I am not the mana, not the buddhi, not the chitta, remembering faculty, not the ahankar. What am I? I am that. But why it is being shown? Because it is chitta, your mind. So conquer the mind, go beyond mind. All these scriptural suggestions are that we should go beyond the range of mind, beyond the purview of the mind. That was the last reading. Now, 29th verse we read today. Jadaspannang Shivam Shantam Jadaspannang Shivam Shantam Yashyantar Jagata Sthiti Yashyanta Jagata Sthiti Spanya Aspanda Bilasatma Spanda Aspanda Bilasatma Swaeko Atra Chidakriti Swaeko Atra Chidakriti. So, Jat Aspannam, that which does not vibrate. Spandan means vibration. That ultimate truth which does not vibrate. Vibration means duality. Jat Aspannam. And that is called Shivam. Shiva, Nataraj Shiva. Yes, that is a Saguna aspect. But Shiva means all auspicious. Shiva's another meaning is all auspiciousness. Shivam. That which does not vibrate, that is the all auspiciousness. That which is Shanta, absolute calmness, ever serene. Jasya antar jagat sthiti. Jasya anta, in whom, in which this jagat, this world stands. All this world stands on that Shanta, absolutely calm, that serene, that non-vibrational ocean. Just think, all the waves and ripples, that is the world of vibration, stands on the very calm, deep sea. You go little down the ocean, there is no flow, no current. In the river there is current, but in the ocean, just is silence, silence, silence. As you go down and down, it is only silence and calmness and perfect stillness. So that aspannam, and that is all auspiciousness. Because inauspiciousness comes when we see the ripples. See, look at the surface. As the same water, when ripple comes, wave is formed, and one wave fights with another, one wave, all this tussle and fight and all these stormy things are going on the surface. And that is this world that stands on that calm, deep, serene ocean of peace and silence. So that is the conscious self, no? Antar Jagat Sthiti, which is motionless, auspicious and calm. That is the conscious self upon which remains in its own purity and self-grandeur. What is that? That motionless, auspicious, all auspicious, calm, and Atman, in which the inmost core of this universe exists, and to which this moving and unmoving universe is but a play. On the surface, it is just making a play. On the surface, the rolling and all these movements and all this world play. That's why it's called the divine play of the mother. Because the same water, that's Satchidananda water. It is as if some movement and dancing. That's why you call Shiva's dance. The stop is the Shiva's dance. Shiva is calm Shiva, lying in the flat of Mother Kali, and Shiva dancing. All this creation comes. So this is The conscious self alone always remains ever in its own soul and grandeur, which is motionless. That is motionless. There is no motion, as I said. You dive deep into the ocean. Those who scuba dive and they go deep and they find a tremendous silence. Only some fish or dolphin or some other sea animals will be there. That movement, if that is not there, such a deep silence. So that is our real self. It's so deep, so profound. And the surface, our mind is playing this dance. It's a part of the cosmic dance. And our attention being totally focused in the dance of happiness and misery, pleasure and pain, joy and its opposite. So that is the play, and that play is going on. We think that is the only truth. So if we withdraw that mind to that, as we read in the verse 28, the ground of it. That's why Mother Kali stands on the chest of Shiva. And Shiva is that's a representative of this idea. Shiva is all calm, all serene, no motion, perfectly peaceful, all auspiciousness, white. His complexion is white. A symbology of purity, symbology of non-adulteration, unadulterated character. So the conscious self, that is the big self, alone remains ever in its own soul grandeur. That is motionless, that is auspicious, that is calm, and in which the inmost core of this universe exists. That means this universe, whatever this universe, this exists. How big is that? This entire stars and galaxies and all these things is only remain on that ground of calmness. We cannot conceive of this expanded universe, and to which this moving and unmoving universe is but a play. So what is happening? This moving universe or unmoving universe, this is just a play. It is getting created and recreated, no? The science is telling what? The energy going out, again it is centrifugal. There are particles, what you call? All these particles. Dark particle, this particle. Even there are so much forceful in the black hole that the light, all light is sucked into it, and that's why it's become black. Light. So this universe we can not understand with our little petty intelligence. What about this, which is surface water is this much? Whole ocean is how? Miles. You go that unfathomable we call. So that is our self nature, the essential nature of bliss. So 30th verse, we have already read probably that day, I do not remember, but we will read again. So first of all, it is all creation of the mind, that we got the idea from the 28th. And when you can work upon your mind and make the mind still, when that means no mind, like in the deep sleep, no mind. Mind is there, but it is sleeping in such a way, it is not wake up. So waking up comes in the dream and in the waking state. Now it is working fully, mind, and in the dream time it is working. Deep sleep time, it is sleeping. So if by yogic practice, by Vedanta, meditation, by prayer, when one can work on this mind and becomes pure, what you call pure mind, and it goes to its own source, then it merges into that, and then whole world dissolves. Ramakrishna's examples are very powerful. Ramakrishna told about that, no? We want to fathom Brahman, God. We want to see God, feel God. And he gave the example of this salt doll. And the salt doll, Ramakrishna's examples are unique examples. Salt doll wanting to measure the ocean. And he said, as you move towards the ocean, you first see the roaring noise of the ocean. And then you feel that, yes, you are coming close to a big thing. And then you come closer and closer, then you see the waves and the vastness of the ocean. Then as the doll enters into the water, what happens? It is melting. Melting means what? Its constitution is, ocean water is salt, salty water. Not that, mostly salty water. So it goes back to your salt nature. Solid, it was solidified, personality. Due to ignorance, it becomes solidified, as it were. And when it really moves towards the undivided consciousness, ocean, then it merges into the ocean, means it dissolves. It dissolves into what? Its content. The salt. Ye are the salt of the earth. Christ said, ye are the salt of... That salt. That is the Satchidananda salt. And his form melts, but he does not die, because he becomes the salt in the ocean. So that is the identification happens. And that there is no creation. Who will then say how big is the ocean, how small, what waves? These are only so long you are keeping a separation. That's why Bhakti Sutra, Bhakti Yogas talk about. They don't want to measure. Oh Lord, I don't want to understand all these things. It is your divine play. I know this much, that it is your play going on. Bhakta will think in that way. Now, 30th verse. As a note says, the entire moving and unmoving universe, on page 338, the entire moving and unmoving universe is the sport or manifestation of this one consciousness only, which is the essential nature of the self. Perception itself is creation. When you perceive something, that means you are creating. You are creating yourself to perceive the object. Like that. Now we are not dreaming, but when you dream, what happens? You create your mind into division. Perceiver, one person is observing, perceive the objects and the perceiving instrumentality. So, perception itself called creation, drishti srishti, meaning the pure consciousness of one's own real self is appearing in the form of creation. There is nothing other than consciousness which can be called creation. That means what you see in creation, what you see as waves and ripples, they are nothing but ocean. But you name it differently. Same ocean water, only you name it differently. So you only name all this duality, what we see, give so many names. It is only the same Satchidananda. We are touching that. We are interacting with that, but we think that we are interacting with the wood, with the table, with the glass, with this food, with this visible objects, but it is everything what you are doing, it is only water. All the bubble, foam, ripple, waves, billows, there is nothing but ocean water. A very simple formula, it seems so simple, but I do not know, it does not penetrate at all. How many times we talk about. Again and again, whole book, how many times he is talking. Why they write 30,000 verses, I do not know. This book is 30,000 books, verses. 30,000, we are reading only 223. And we are getting bored. We are 223 times bored. Because everywhere they are saying the same thing. Do you find any time he said anything different? From the day we started this book, and we are spending for years, 1 year or more, 2 years maybe, are we hearing anything new? We are bored with this 226 verses. And now you think 30,000 verses, listen all the time. what will happen? That means our buddhi, intellect, a stone buddhi, stone-like intellect. A stone-like intellect, whatever you try to penetrate, it does not go inside, it turns out the opposite way. Nail turns, the tip of the nail turns. So this is but it is so simple, as if when you listen, that we are interacting with God. Interacting, you are eating, you are drinking, all the senses, whatever you are perceiving, it is nothing but Satchidananda. And this is also Satchidananda. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi, Brahma Agnu. We chant that. Brahmana hutam, Brahma evatena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. See, all this Brahma, 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 Brahma. See, so simple. That is the cream of whole philosophy of spirituality. No? But so simple. But what a Maya. So complicated, so difficult to perceive. So this is what to do. Therefore, a rigorous thinking, sravana, and rigorous reflection, and rigorous meditation on this topic in the Vedanta path. And after doing that, like Hari Maharaj will say, you cannot achieve by your own effort. Say surrender. Oh, mother, you take care. There's mother's play going on. Then again bring mother there. Brahmajnani bringing mother. People think that mother worships are something non-Vedantic. But if par excellent Brahmajnanis, they are talking about then surrender, mother, why are you so much thinking of yourself? Will you achieve everything by your own practice? Grace, grace, grace. No? So bridge together. But sometimes, because you are reading on a high level of Vedanta, so don't bring too much grace part here. Rather bring more of your effort part. I am Atman, I will think this way. We sometimes always bridge these two together. 30th verse says, let us read. Ohir nilayanim aho ratmataya. Ohir nilayanim atmataya. Ohir nilayanim aharatmataya. Bapre bap. Ohi nilayanim atmataya jagrihe. Atmataya jagrihe parimakshana tastu pura. Ohir nilayanim aharatmataya. Ohir nilayanim aharatmataya jagrihe parimokshanastu pura. Jagrihe parimokshanastu pura. Parimucchatu tamuragaha. Parimucchatu tamuragaha. Swalile sabile na nirikshita. Sabile na nirikshito. Atmatayatu punaha. Atmatayatu punaha. Okay, Ohi, what it says, the snake, Jagrihe, considered the snake, Nilayam, the skin. When, what happens, the skin, the snake sometimes gives us his old skin. No? So that example is this. Before giving away that slough, that old skin, the snake identifies its own self with the skin. No? It's mine. It's mine. Like that. We have hair. It's my hair. It's getting grey. It's getting white. It's getting good, bad. No? When you cut it, you throw away. You have no identification with that. Similarly, is a good example, a snake with his own skin, when it was in the body, He felt it's my skin. But when the old skin is left out, he does not look at that skin and think that is mine. So this is the example. Before giving up this love, the snake identifies itself, its one self with this skin. But after discarding it, the snake does not consider that skin as its own, even though the snake remains in its own hole. In the same place where he has deserted the old skin, he does not identify. Meaning, this is the way. Being in the world, if one can disidentify with the body, so body will remain. But you will not be identifying with it. Therefore, this joy of this body or the suffering of this body, the excitement in the mind or depression in the mind, those things will not affect you. That means disidentification. Vedanta teaches disidentification with this which is limiting you from the infinite. This is the gross example. In a similar manner, after the attainment of knowledge, the wise one does not identify himself with his body anymore. So example is given that though it is his skin, he was just identifying few minutes before. But when he gives up that skin, outer skin, it is there, and that snake is there itself, in the same place. But he does not think it is mine. So similarly, Brahmagyanis, when they discard this body by analysis, by Vedantic analysis, and feels that I am separate from that, so they become the free soul, not being bound in the bondage of joy or suffering. The commentator Sankaracharya here said, what he said in the Brahma Sutra Bhasya, in the commentary in Brahma Sutras, Asmat na avagato brahmatma bhavasya jatha purvam sangsaritam. That asmat na avagato, when we are not able to realize Brahma Atma Bhavasya, that Brahman is equal with the Atman, I am that Atman, and this is only a outer case. Jatha Purvam Sangsaritam. When he does not disidentify, like us, we think it is sangsar, it is the world, it is a worldly interaction. So long we are not able to disidentify or identify myself with the divine, Brahman, aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman. If we cannot do that, so long is the sangsar. It is, you are a worldly person. You are a person dwelling in the duality of life. Atma and jasyatu, but for whom jatha purvam sangsaritam na asu avagato brahmatma bhava iti anavadyam. One who has experienced the oneness of Brahman and the self no longer has the worldly understanding that the body is the self, which he used to have before. One who still continues to have the worldliness as before has not realized Brahman Atman identity. This surely is a flawless conclusion. So Shankara, in the Brahma Sutra commentary, he has mentioned the same idea, that so long there is identification with this body, you are worldly. But your body may be there. But when you don't think that it is my body, it is a body made of 5 elements. But it is not me. The car is not me. I am the owner of the car. Or I am the consciousness behind this movement of the car. The person's car, that person goes and starts the engine, then the engine works. So in duality, if we say this is controlled by God, Ishvara, the God, is seated in the heart of all and he drives each car. Okay? This is his movement. And car engine, the wheel is rotating. All this activity going on in the engine, heavy activity. 80 miles speed, car is moving. But all dependent on the conscious entity who is sitting and guiding that. But engine is working. People from outside will give the glory to the engine. Or anything wrong will go to the car. Oh, that car, see? That blue car, they hit that another car. Oh, it's hitting the wall. The car is not hitting. And if one does not identify, you are not identified with that car, therefore you don't get bothered. But when your car gets little scratch, then you get identified with it and you suffer. But once you understand, I am not the car, bas, whatever happens to the car, you remain in your absolute joy. So this is the flawless conclusion, Shankara says. And here Yoga Vasishta also says, giving the old example, that the snake gives us up his slough and stays in the same hole, but before he gave up, he was identifying with that, what you call the slough. But after that, as soon as it is separated, he lives with it but never identifies. So the Jnani will live in the body. Not that after Brahma Jnana everyone will die. If that happens, then we don't get the saints. All the saints are the people who have that experience, separated themselves, and then came back. That's why some people may say, if I get identified with the divine, why do you come back? Because your leftover karma is there, so you come back. The momentum is still there. So, but you don't identify, that's the beauty. Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam, Bhagavad Gita, Tasyang Jagrati Samyami. Jasyam Jagrati Bhutani, Sanisha Pasyato Mune. The whole world is sleeping in that knowledge. The whole world, sleeping. But we are not aware of that supreme consciousness. And that is the only reality, and I am that. We are sleeping in this knowledge. But the Jnanis, the Brahma Jnani, wise people, they are always awake. They always see, I am that Atman. This body is like a cage, but I am not. I am not that. I see it, but it is no reality. And in which they are awake, we always are sleeping. That means we are totally unaware of that reality, and we live in the consciousness of this, which is unreal. Okay, so 31 verse. The conduct of the wise one is described here. How this, after this experience of separation, if one can do. And Gita Sthita Prajna Lakshan is the same. The Jeevan Mukti, how the Jeevan Muktas will live, has been described. That is the same. So now that few idea. The conduct of the wise one on verse number 31 and page 339. Dosha buddhyo bhayatito, dosha buddhya ubhayatito, nishedhat na nivartate, nishedhat na nivartate vihitam cha gunabuddhya vihitam cha gunabuddhya cha vihitam gunabuddhya cha vihitam nakaroti jatharvaka nakaroti jatharvaka. What does it mean? It is not that the knower of truth does not perform any sinful act due to understanding that the sinful activities should not be performed. We do. We don't do any bad karma, I know, because bad karma will bring bad result. Good people in the society, spiritual people, they do that. But the Jnani does not think, this is bad, it will bring sin in my life, I won't do that. He does not give up that. There is nothing to give up for him, because he sees Brahman everywhere. For him, so we should not judge them from our standard. For us it is necessary. And we refrain from bad activities, bad things, bad actions. Why? Because it will make me impure. But a Brahmajnani is not limited by that, because Brahmajnani does not see anything but God, anything but divine. It is like a child. Child does so many things. It seems to be sometimes very attached. And sometimes like, you see even children with a soiled cloth, they don't mind anything. Yeah, they can put their hand and body and mouth, no sense. So Brahmajnanis are like that. They become so innocent like child, and they have no body consciousness. Though they remain in the body. The baby does not remain in the body? Yes. But baby has no identification with the body. Whatever you give a sweet, or else he will put in the mouth. You see, most of the children you see give anything and puts in the mouth. Huh? So that means there is no priority of good and bad, that sense has not developed. But Brahmajnani will, after experience come down, there is no priority good and bad, it is all the same, they have no body identity. That's why Toilanga Goswami, his behavior people used to very get confused. So how he used to live and how he used to walk, talk. So we have to understand, if they don't do anything which is bad, they are not refraining themselves because it is bad and I will incur sin, because he is gone beyond sin and or purity. No. Again, it is also not that he performs some obligatory duties. You will find Brahmajnanis, they go to the temple, they offer flower, and they pray like that. It is not that they are being forced. If they don't do, they come to the temple and didn't do the pranam, God will be angry with you. It is not like that. That means there is no compulsion of doing anything, or refraining from something because it is bad, or doing it because it is auspicious, I can go to heaven, or people will tell me I am a righteous person. People's praise I will get. They don't do anything like that. So, again, it is also not that he performs the obligatory duties like bathing, praying. They go to the temple, we go into it, many sadhus, good sadhus, they are Brahmajnanis. We didn't know them that time. And they are also going to take Ganga bath. I am also taking with him. I can think he is like me. I am taking bath, why? Oma, take away my bad karma. My bad wishes take away. Give me purity, no? But he is also bathing with me. I can think that he is also doing in the same attitude. He has no such sense, not necessary. It is due to the, what you call, the momentum of his past practice. A sadhu practices good habits, getting up at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock getting up is necessary for us. But Brahmajnani also gets up at 4 o'clock. He does not get up, I will have to do something, otherwise I will be falling back from my spirituality. No. But because of the past practice, they do that, not with any intention. That means they have no intention to be holy, neither they any intention to be unholy. So he performs the obligatory duties like bathing, praying, etc., that are needed to be performed with the understanding that those are meritorious. For us, we go to take a bath in the holy Ganga, wherever we go, Jamuna river, auspicious, and we will be purified, we will be purified. But Brahmagyanis have no need of that, and they don't feel that I am getting the merit, or it will make me meritorious. Neither it will take away my sin, that's why I am forced to go to take a bath. If I don't do my prayer, meditation, what people will think? Nothing. It is because of his past momentum they do. If they do, that's also good. If they don't do, that's also good. Their knowledge never diminishes. So as an innocent child is beyond all rules and prohibitions, so is a person of wisdom. So note number, a wise one of the nature of Brahman, who is beyond all rules and prohibitions by his natural instinct, does not perform any sinful activity. You have to understand, they can't perform any sinful activity. Because sin idea is not in their mind. There is nothing which he wants to get from the world. He has got the infinite joy, what this world joy can give him. So it has his actions not to be judged by people like us, but they do behave because their body still continues because of the path. Like if sometimes you see if the car in an accident, if the axle is broken, what happens? The wheel comes out of the body and it rolls on. Which direction it goes? It goes is momentum. And which direction it will go, where it will hit, where it will fall. It has no added energy into the wheel. When it is connected with the engine, it has this energy control, and it is controlled, speed less, but he has no control. So the Brahmagyani moves in the past momentum, prarabdha, we call prarabdha. So they don't incur any sin, or they don't think that I will be pure, or I am getting impure. No such concept. So however, due to his very natural habit, what I was saying, momentum, here is saying natural habit, the obligatory duties are performed automatically through his body, senses, organs and the like. You get up in the morning, we have seen our great Swamis, they cannot sleep in the bed after certain time, which he has practiced so many years and years. Even they go to bed, I have seen they are going to bed maybe 2 o'clock. At 3:30 they are up. No matter. That is the habit. They cannot lie down in the bed. As we cannot get out of the bed. As they cannot lie down in the bed after a certain time. So all the divine qualities naturally develop in a wise person. And that is, he is giving a quotation from Naiskarma Siddhi that Utpanno Atma Prabodhasya tad vedrishtvattadayo guna ajatnato bhavantiyasya natu sadhana rupina. In a perfectly wise person, freedom from aversion and similar qualities, as mentioned in the Gita, are present by default. They are not the result of their practice, meaning they do not need to exert much effort to practice such qualities. We are making an effort to get up in the morning. We are trying to make a time for meditation. We are trying to study the scripture. These are the do's to be done for spiritual growth. And prohibition, don't do this, do this. But Brahmagyanis don't do from that perspective. The knower of truth is beyond all obligations and prohibitions. But for that reason, he does not enjoy the license of doing whatever he likes to do. If they do, then people will say, what is the need of this? Many people taking advantage of this verse. Means I am a Brahmagyani. So nothing affects me. I can do whatever. So that is the fake rishis and yogis in this country. they pop up and they show, and they can camouflage the people for some time. But that does not do good to them, not to the society. But point is that they should not do that. They don't do it normally. You cannot say no. Why they don't do? Because they have practiced to change their character. That's why it is dangerous to have some experience. Some people say, I have a great experience. Danger. Because you have not practiced the spiritual disciplines. You have not purified the mind. An impure mind, suddenly you got some experience for some reason. Oh, for this ganja, this, that substance, or some other reason. If you get a high experience, then what will come? When you go that, you have that experience, the highest joy. When your mind comes down, you will be seeking for that joy. You will frantically, you will be helplessly run after sensuality. That's why we find the effect of such yogis become defective in the eye of morality and other things. So that's why practice. And then change your whole character. Tendency will change. It will be such a change, you cannot do anything else but doing good to others, blessing everyone, showing a pure life. No? If impure life to see, why shall I go to a sadhu? I can see anywhere. There is plenty and more easily available. So this is the point. Some people make a mistake and to understand that, misunderstand that spirituality is like that. I will end here, though it is a few pages are there for explaining this. I will read them also afterwards. No? And if any question is there, the last question was there, one?
In the last class?
Huh?
Yeah.
So what it says, that the knower of truth is beyond all obligations and prohibitions, but for that reason he does not enjoy the license of doing whatever he likes to do. That means immoral life they don't do. If you find, then be careful. That's the point. We should be also judging for ourselves, as also to be careful with spirituality, not getting confused with what license. Spirituality, Brahmogyanis, they are not feeling that they are taking the license. Oh, I can do whatever I like. If that happens, then who will be spiritual? Everyone will go to follow their path, is it not? In that present verse, the natural state in which a wise person remains is described. It is not that he performs righteous behavior, guided by the law, and refrains from sinful activity, being afraid of the injunctions of the scriptures. He spontaneously does virtuous activities alone and never ever commits any sinful act. If even the wise one performs sinful deeds, then the glory of knowledge will gets restrained. No? No one will be thinking what is the value of becoming a spiritual person. That means blessings, always spiritual people should be always blessings to the world and blessings to himself. There is one question, another 2-3 minutes are there, I didn't respond that. The question is it okay to consciously not ask anything from God, who knows what is in my heart and what's needed for me? Yes. Now, as we said, that Vedanta does not decry the need of God. Saguna Brahma. Nirguna Brahma, we are talking about, I am Atman Brahman. But because we are embodied being, we live in the duality, we accept there is a divine entity we call God, the Saguna Brahman. That's the Nirguna Brahman, Saguna Brahman. But so long we are in the body level, so we can pray. But if you say God knows everything, why shall I pray? True. If you have such conviction that God is my mother and He knows, or is my father, He knows more than I know about myself. No? Baby knows, again the baby example. Baby how much knows his own health, its own health. Where is the pain, and if that pain happens, what medicine to take, what diet to be taken, how much the baby knows. Mom knows much more. Mom knows every need of the baby, every joy, every suffering of the baby. So when that comes, that knowing God is like mom, if we see she is our mother, Mother Durga, Mother Kali, Mother Sharoda. She is my mom. So I need not have to say anything. Be like that child. But are we so egoless? Can we be like a baby? If we can, no, we need not have to pray to the Divine Mother, Mother, give me. But when that baby becomes adult, and mother then says, Mom, I want this. Ma says, no, not now. Then you see, you ask and mom says, no. You think this will be good? Candy, mom. And then mom says, no, you are taking too much candy. Huh? It is not good for your health. And then, no. And mom does not give sometime, or does give. So point is that if we ask things when I am thinking, mom can give and I need that. I understand my need. What is good for me? So that's why I asking, Mom, give this. Mom, give this. No? In everyday life we do that. Ma, please do that. And we don't get the response. And we think Ma is not listening to me. Ma is listening. But Ma says, Baba, that's not good. My child, you need not to think that way. It is not good. And then no. If you brag on, then sometimes she gives also. But after getting that, you think that, oh, why I asked this? Now, we sometimes get very happy if I prayed something and I got it. But if it is, you got something really good or really just your satisfaction of your emotions, no? So, if we know from the bottom of our heart that I am a baby, I do not know mother, you are my mother, please take care whatever I need. I may ask wrong things, so I am not asking. You do what is good for me. If we can do, mother takes the whole charge of us. But we are to be like child. And that childlike situation comes only for a Brahmajnani. They can be only childlike, simple. Thakur is like a childlike. Thakur will be, Sri Ramakrishna will be putting his own cloth in his armpit and say, do I look bad? A child, no? And no one feels bad. In front, Ramakrishna, how many times he did in Dakshineshwar, how many big people of the society sitting around. But he is a child and nobody thinks that it is such a nasty thing, what a nasty person. Huh? But if a person with ego does that, we say, is a crazy guy, put him into the psychiatric hospital. No. So this is the difference. A egoless child of God need not have to ask for anything. But if we are not there, better we ask to mother rather than asking someone else.
But at some point, Holy Mother told that do you need to tell a gentleman the same thing again and again? If you think like Thakur is a gentleman, you say one time and he will listen.
But your saying should be sincere. Your saying should be sincere. True, he is a gentleman, you should be gentleman. He will give. But really, if we feel I have told once and he knows everything, he will do it. That means you have confidence in him. But we have neither that confidence even. That's why I say, I asked you yesterday, why not give me today? Again, tomorrow, in the evening I say again. As if he is not giving and I have no confidence that he is my own. He will give it if it is good for me. He will not give even I ask 100 times. Question is that mother does not give the baby which is not congenial for his good health. Huh? Sometimes because under the pressure of the child's crying, compassionately gives. That's why what we get it, that if you have that trust and faith in God, no, you need not have to say anything. But as we are not reached to that level, rather say, oh Ramakrishna, oh Mother, give me devotion, give me love, so that give me little mood so that I can meditate more, I can think of you. Make my path little easy so that I can get free from other obstacles which are blocking my spiritual journey. You need not have to say anything. But if you are not to that height of spirituality, then you should behave where you are. So that's why it depends on the individual capacity. Okay, thank you.
One question is there was so relevant, but anyway.
It is necessary to do fasting. How to do Ekadasi fasting? Oh my God. I am a eater, I eat every day, so I should not talk about fasting. That's why there is Ramakrishna story. One doctor was prescribing some medicine to a patient, and afterwards he says, okay, for your diet, what will be my diet, what to eat? Then he said, no, you come tomorrow. The poor guy walked 2, 3, 4 miles away, he lives. Again he went back and came another day, next day after walking 5 miles. And then he said, okay, don't eat molasses. Then the patient says, you could have told me yesterday itself, don't take molasses. But why did you make me walk 5 miles and again 5 miles, again 5 miles? How much my extra? Well, yesterday I had in my room jar full of molasses. You saw that. And if I tell you don't take molasses, you will not believe me. You will think that molasses is good. As a doctor is taking, so it should be good. So I have removed them. That's why I am giving you the advice. So sorry, this is for fun. So Ekadasi fasting. Fasting is a question that actually comes from the Ekadasi fasting or any fasting. Fasting is come from the Sanskrit word. It is called upobasa. Upo and baso, 2 words. Upo means close and baso means stay. Stay close. Stay close to whom? Stay close to God. You eat every day, you have to cook. That takes long time. Eat, clean the dishes, this, that. So if you take all this timing, then it becomes little time-taking. But today you have decided that I will be sitting with the Lord more. What I do other day, most of the time I will engage myself staying with God. And that's why I don't want to load my body with, even if I eat something, my body will feel like relaxing a little bit, dozing, napping. So I don't want to do all this. I only want to be without giving much attention to the body. I'll think of my beloved Lord more, more, more. That is called upavasa. And why don't we eat? Because every day we think of eating. Health-wise it is good because all the toxic things gets cleared because of not adding more food to the stomach. So digestive system gets little relaxation. Scientifically that is good. And drinking water, it flushes things also. These are the physical benefits what the body can get. But it brings also, after though fasting time we may feel little bad, but at the end of fasting you feel so refreshed. And see how cheerfulness comes, even not eating, but you feel cheerful. And that mind may be utilized in thinking of God or meditating or praying, keeping the mind in a prayerful mood all the day. That is called upavasa. And Ekadasi is maintained, but that's a tradition, 11th day of the moon. In India, people celebrate that day. At least to know that one day, this is the day, fixed, not haphazard. Our life is most haphazard. Today I like to eat, I eat. Tomorrow I don't like to eat, boom, I don't eat. No, you are troubling your body.
Ekadasi, mind is 11th Indriya.
Oh, that's okay, good.
5 and 11th is mind.
Oh, yeah, true. Ekadasa Indriya. All the 11, 5 sense organs of perception, 5 organs of action, controlled by all are controlled by my mind. So mind is called 11th sense organ. So this is the 11th. So they may have matched with the 11th day of the moon calendar, and that's a fixed date. You know that is the day I will fix. Much ahead, your mind gets ready. And it's a good and systematic. And that everything is, and spiritual person becomes all organized and systematic more. So I think this is the meaning that be close to God more than any other day. That day to be more meditative, more doing practice, japa, feeling the presence. And the body is very refreshed, not loaded with things. Okay? Thank you. Again. Do I need Guru if I realize I am Brahman? Because it is real truth and I trust. Yes, if you realize you are Brahman, you don't need any Guru. But how do you know that you have realized Brahman? Because sometimes we do not know. We do not know Brahman. We do not know God. You may have some hallucination. You may have some little glimpse of that truth. But Guru then can guide you to tell you, yes, it is genuine because he has his own experience, or he has got the seen that, heard about that experience from their Guru, their Guru, their Guru. So it is in that sense better to have a Guru. And even Swami Brahmananda in our tradition taught that even everyone needs a teacher, no? We go for car driving. Don't we get a Guru? We go for cooking. Don't we learn from, hey, what recipe you have given this, that? He's Guru. You are asking the recipe and trying to do that practice, no? They're following that recipe, you are trying to get it. So for anything, we need a teacher. And for spiritual life, of course, we need a teacher. And it does not harm. But you have to understand who should be your teacher. You should have to find a person who knows cooking, go to learn from that person cooking. But if you go to a person who, like me, I've never cooked anything, and ask me, okay, can you teach me? And I may say, hey, do this, do that. Then that will be a mess of food. It will not be a good cooking. But the cook who have done that experience, learn from that person. So everything, every little tidbit thing also, we need some teacher. And this spirituality is so subtle and so intricate, so fine. You need a person to guide. So that guidance should be from the teacher. But you have to understand, teacher has qualities. You read Swami Vivekananda's book on Bhakti Yoga, then you will see that the Guru is who is a Guru. Okay, so thank you.
So one final question. What are the 3 Shaw which Ma Sharada asked us to follow?
Oh, Sha. I do not know what is that.
Shudra.
That means he's saying from every aspect, try to endure. Every aspect. 3 is a symbolic. 3, why mother said Sha, there are in Sanskrit 3 S's. One S when you touch your tongue in the teeth, that is Sa. Sha, turn your tongue towards up, Sha, and then to the palate. Sha. 3 Shas. And this is for in the alphabet. So that's why 3, they say 3 times he says. That means everyone should have to endure. As much one can endure, that much is the success. That means non-reactionary. Be non-reactionary. The world will try to agitate you all the time. But you need not have to be agitated. You try to keep your peace. And you see, this is injustice. It should not be done. It should be changed. Try your best if you can, but otherwise endure. This will pass. Today's situation is this bad. It is not permanent. It will go away. So endure, and think that it is God is giving me for purification of my body, mind, for my spiritual growth. If you can take spiritual advice, instruction like that, that will help to grow in life. So these are the different uses of the enduring 3 times. 3 times means more and more. Okay, so we end here. Thank you all. And we end with a prayer. And tomorrow will be gospel reading. Swami Atma Tattananda will be giving the class. And that's all. And where I find that some of the devotees have sent their presence. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.